Many have been wondering just what's really been going on at Tennessee State University. Well, I have an exclusive interview with the TSU student leaders here as we talk about HBCUs, what's going on at the University of Missouri, as well as everything that's been going on here at the campus of TSU. Stay tuned.
I'm Melanie Reeves and I am a freshman.
Okay, freshman.
Alan Bond Jr.
Dovakio Brown Sr.
Racia Poston Sr.
Tyra Laster, senior.
Blake Hamilton, sophomore.
Jordan Spencer, sophomore.
Okay, thank y'all for being here. So first off, within the last few months, there's been a lot of things going on around campus, shootings and things of that nature. We're on CNN and everything. So could you guys just briefly talk about how you feel about what's going on? I know there's a lot of misconceptions about TSU, it's a negative campus. Some people are saying a lot of thugs around there. So if you guys just go ahead and tell everybody how you feel. Starting with you, Racia, president.
All right. Well, first off, I don't believe what's happening on our campus is not something that does not happen on other campuses. A lot of people just try to say, TSU, we're Thug State University, and we're just all bad people. No, that's not true. Yes, I believe that these are different things that any other school can be vulnerable to, honestly.
How y'all feel about everything?
I'd agree. I think that it's easy to publicize the negative things that happen on our campus. Especially when you talk about the narrative of gun violence across the nation. I feel like a lot of media outlets tried to use our situation to push their agenda, which was unfair.
Right. Dovakio.
I totally agree with both Racia and Alan. What I see on the news every time something negative takes place, that's not what I see when I wake up and walk outside my apartment. That's not what I see when I go to my classrooms and strive for excellence, because so many people came here because they have a passion and a dream, and I'm always surrounded by dreamers who are making their dreams reality, and just to see us in such a negative light, it's like you're not showing the whole picture, you're just showing part of the shadow.
So when we do see a lot of negative things going on within the media, Tyra, what are some positive things? Because some people might not know. So what
We can go from the mass comm department to the engineering department. Each major is doing something incredible, and it's kind of saddening, and honestly, to be completely 100% real, it kind of frustrates a lot of TSU students and pisses us off, because here we are on this campus trying to receive the degree, receive the pat on the back that we are excellent black students, and here we are having media create negativity when we're doing nothing but create positivity. From when it comes to mass comm department, I can talk about all day how we're trying to strive for excellence and be that news reporter, be that creative director. And then engineering department, always, solving an issue or creating, a brighter future for us. But unfortunately, that doesn't get broadcasted. It's always the negative type of things.
Right.
And for a TSU student, the reason, a lot of the frustration and the kind of, situation you saw in the news recently, it's happening because we're just over it.
Right. So let's talk about the situation that happened on the news. I know you guys were involved in it, so just paint the picture for us, let it all out there so the world can know what really happened.
Well, first off, the word ambush, that's such a harsh term, because we did not ambush them. They were on public property. He actually invited us to come on camera, so that's what we did. But we first saw at the 9 o'clock news that evening that they were broadcasting live on TSU campus. So we was like, okay, we don't want you guys on our campus reporting these negative things. Just leave us alone if you don't have anything good to say about our university. So we rode around campus and we seen, okay, they weren't actually on campus. So we were about to go home, and then we looked across the street, and they were actually cameras set up, and 2 men were standing out there. So we waited until they went live again that next hour at 10 p.m. And we waited till the cameras were rolling, and we went up there, and the gentleman, Matt Alvarez, he invited us up to the camera, and we just decided, okay, this is our moment, not only to stand up for our institution, but also HBCUs across the country, because if you see now, other campuses are having the same problem. So this wasn't just for TSU, this was for all HBCUs.
So this was something that was planned.
Yes, when you think about all the things that the Live 75 administration does, we never go out not prepared. When it comes to our leadership under Racia Poston, we are very strategic. We plan and we think out everything we do. So this is not just something, oh, we felt we should do, just do it. Because that's not anything that you should ever do. You should always have a reason to do something, and we had a reason to.
What was some of the response, the feedback that you guys got? And you can chime in if you heard anything. What was some people saying? I heard that there are some people going back and forth on Twitter. So what kind of response did you guys get?
Well, first of all, I take it as I know what I did, and I'll never regret it. As Racia said the same thing, she would never regret it. I always learned through Oprah, never read the comments because you're always going to see something. Everybody's not going to agree with that. But as far as students from other HBCUs, other institutions, as from PWIs, alumni, friends, family, they supported us because if you look at our institution in the news and you do not know our institution, you would think we're the worst place on earth. So they really showed support. We also had a few negative people who said we shouldn't do it. It wasn't the right way to go about it. But when it comes to an issue that is getting national attention and no one's listening to what you have to say, you have to do something to get the nation's attention, to show a statement as in, we are students, we will always take up for our university. Give us time to deal with our problems, because one thing that frustrates me with the media, when something happens, they're rushing to get a story, but they're not giving everyone involved with the situation time to heal. And so rushing our healing process and what we're dealing with, you want to get out a story when you're not thinking about us as students, because we go to school here, we live here, we eat, sleep, breathe here. Give us space and let us deal with it. And then look at the positives coming out of the story, because it's not all negative.
So Jordan,
I know one thing particularly that stuck out to me was the reporter said, well, I've been here the past 2 days, I've done this. And I made a point to say to him, well, we're students, we live here. This is our campus. You're so detached from it, you're just trying to get your story, trying to do whatever, your job entails, when you're really not getting the whole story. You need to speak with people who live here, who eat here, who breathe here.
And I know that a lot of students came to me and told me that they appreciated us
Absolutely.
going and talking to the news reporter, because we feel that we don't have a voice in a lot of situations. They always come to our campus, like they said, and whatever they see, they think that that's what's on the campus. But we live here, like we breathe it. We are in those situations. Like I knew the person that got shot. It's a healing process, and there are a lot of people who appreciated us doing it for them.
Right. And so, as a freshman, first year here, what has your impression been? How do you feel about the campus?
Regardless of what's been going on, I have a sister who's an alum. So I was actually walking this campus when I was like 7 years old. So I got a chance to really see how TSU is firsthand. So I guess it's just a phase, but I know that TSU is really true to its blue. I'm not going to give up on my university.
No regrets coming.
At all.
For some people that are watching that may not know, what does it mean to go to an HBCU?
You have all day.
Right. Talk about, but in your personal opinion.
In my personal opinion, to me, what it means to go to an HBCU is to embrace my culture and my people, to help those who look like me climb instead of being put down. Because in society, we struggle trying to make it. But it's a way that we all just come together, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what school you go to, it matters about that dream that you have and that passion. And at the end of the day, we all care for each other. It just happens to be at an HBCU.
I know with me, when I first stepped on this campus, I felt the family vibe. Like when I came here, everybody spoke to one another, everybody smiled, and it was like a big family. Like we support each other, we help push each other to do what we want to do in life.
you're no longer a number. Like, you don't feel like a number, you feel like a person. You relate to that professor, you relate to that student. You cry together, smile together, get frustrated together, and, go over that hurdle together. And I think that's like the best thing.
University of Missouri, as we all know, there are a lot of things going on around the campus. You want to talk about that, just how you feel, what you've heard?
I think that one thing, as HBCU students, it's our job to embrace the Black people, the minorities at these predominantly white institutions that are going through the same thing as we are, but in more so a direct pipeline.
Do you guys feel safe at TSU? And when I say that, I mean from a not only administration, but just how you feel. Some things that the students is facing over there, they can't really just say how they feel openly without any repercussions. So being here at the HBCU, do you feel safe? Do you feel like?
Absolutely. When you have professors who look like you don't have to worry about systematic oppression here. I actually take classes at a PWI, Vanderbilt, and that kind of environment, it's like you have to be on your P's and Q's and watch, am I doing this? Am I being too Black? Am I not being Black enough? And it kind of takes away from you actually learning and being a productive person. So that's why I really appreciate my HBCU and my university allowing me to grow into the person that I should be and not worry about, am I doing this right? Am I not? Things like that. Always
looking over your shoulder.
Exactly.
I think it's pressure being African American, whether you're an engineer, whether you're mass comm, it's what it is. It's gotten to the point for me in my development, my matriculation, where it doesn't bother me. I just know I have to work harder than they do.
And I think like being here at TSU, it puts you on a platform to excel in whatever you do. Honestly, you don't have to worry about I'm Black and I'm doing, like, this is just what you're here to do, and they're going to give you the resources to do it.
What are some life skills that you can gain from going to an HBCU?
Long list. First of all, communication skills, interpersonal skills. What else you guys?
I agree. Sell yourself. Like when you look at the resume, you might not match up with that person. You might match up with that person or excel them, but when you get in face to face, you have the confidence, you have the swag, you have everything because you've through your HBCU, you've gained that. So when you're in front of that person ready for that job, you're ready. And they love it. The energy feeds off.
One thing that we've talked about being Mr. and Mrs. TSU is throughout the whole process, you have to gain the popular vote. You have to gain the support from people. This whole concept of branding yourself. So throughout that experience, how did you guys grow from that? I know you got to go soon. So what did you guys really gain from the experience?
The simple things matter to TSU students. You can campaign all day, you can have a beautiful picture plastered on every residence hall and whatnot, but what matters is that you open that door for that student, that you said hey to that student more than once. You didn't walk past that student after they took the time to sit down at the computer and vote for you. So it's the simple things that I'm learning during my reign that matter to a TSU student.
I've learned so much about myself, like she stated, but I've also gained a stronger pride for the institution because you represent so many students and you begin to hear what they feel, what they have to say, what they're going through, and it makes you realize even though I'm the face, but I'm your voice and I'll stand beside you and we're growing together. I'm not more important than any student on this campus. We all face struggles, trials, and tribulations, but at the end of the day, when my reign is done, I have to reflect on it and say, you can remember my name, but how did I make you feel as an individual? Did you feel comfortable in my leadership? And with us, what we're learning as SGA members is we can't get complacent, we can't get comfortable in being normal because there's a big world outside of TSU. If we keep congratulating each other on being average, what do you think we're going to be out there once we graduate? We're going to be average-minded people. But if we keep patting each other on the back saying you have to do more, your potential is so much higher than this, then we're going to be abnormal and we're going to focus on being bigger, better, and brighter once we graduate because we don't want to be average people.
Right. So we're going to take a quick break. I know you two have to leave, but the rest of y'all are going to stay. Thank y'all for being here, taking the time out to just talk to us. Stay tuned. Don't leave. We're going to finish this conversation with the student leaders here at TSU. you know, going back to the stuff that's happening at Mizzou, right? The athletes came together, you know, and kind of went on protest. They said, we're not going to go to practice, not going to play any games. And it just goes to show, you know, how us as students, we really have power. We can make a change. So what did that whole experience, you know, because that's really big, what did it say as far as, you know, from us as students?
Well, first off, I commend the students for actually going out and doing that, because I know they had pressure on them because a lot of them have scholarships and different things of that nature. So for them to actually go and show that they matter and that what has been happening to them is wrong.
It takes a lot of courage, like you said, to come out. And one guy, you know, he went on a hunger strike for a week or so.
That's what started it.
That's what started.
Mm-hmm. Graduate student.
Yeah, I think it was really powerful, the first group of students, the ones who protested during their homecoming week, because it's different to protest when you have national attention, when you know the university's not going to do too much to you. But when it's just you and your student body, and you say, I believe enough in this that I have to stand in front of this car that is driven by my university president, like, to me that spoke volumes. I was taken aback. I was like, that is powerful.
That is something, like you said, the power is in the students, and I think that they are going to be a catalyst for other students at other universities to knock that complacency of racism and oppression that they're feeling at their schools. So I love those students there. That takes me back to like 1950s and 60s. The civil rights movement, people from that era were our age, and these students are showing again, okay, you guys, it's time again. We gotta, you know, get the ball rolling on this. So I just think that's so commendable of them.
So, you know, just want to let y'all know, University of Missouri, we got y'all back here at Tennessee State. We support y'all 100%. Do you think that people who are celebrities, so to speak, could do more?
Yes, they can do a lot more. My thing is, they want our support when they're selling a new album and this and that. We're the biggest buyers, but where are you guys at when these things are happening in our community? People like J. Cole I can look up to. You are out there in the streets, you know, with us. So
white man killed this black boy. So I'm saying, when that starts and that changes, if we don't do that from here and pivot off of that and use it for us, then we doing him an injustice. It ain't just about this white man going to jail. We all like, yeah, you better go to jail. It ain't about that, because it's bigger than that.
So it's just a lot of these celebrities. I mean, I guess I can't really put all this pressure on them to do that, because they want to make music and not be responsible for that. But then again, it's just kind of like, y'all, can you please just do more to help us? You have such a big platform. You can do a lot.
Do you think that having that voice, that, so to speak, power as far as influence goes, they're obligated to come out and speak and make a stand on however they feel, whether they support
Absolutely.
or not support?
Money speaks. Money speaks. When you have it, that's your voice. And they have it. So why not support others that look like you? That's all I can say about that.
Yeah, I think they have unequivocal, like they have an obligation to society to stand up for people who are disenfranchised or disempowered in that society. Because you have that voice, because you are able to speak up for other people. You have a responsibility to do so. That's what the nation was founded on. You know, that we hold these truths to ourselves.
I mean, I guess I can't say it's not their obligation, because like I said, that's not what they signed up to do, but just morally and ethically, and just, you would expect them to do that, but I just can't say that that's their obligation or responsibility to, you know, be that voice. Because honestly, yes, the voice does lie in the people who have money, but it also lies in the people who have that willpower to make things happen.
You know, it's so sad to say, but, you know, we get on social media and someone's dying every other day within our generation. You know, the police brutality and things that are going on across the country. Do you feel safe as an African American male in 2015?
It's sad to say, but I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. So when I ride down the street in my home and I see a police officer, the first thing you think is to try to find a way around them. You don't feel safe. You don't feel like you could be able to call them and they would be able to show up and not try to arrest you. So it's sad to say that I don't feel all the way safe at all times in my own community, in my own skin.
I would agree with Blake, but I don't feel different than I did forward now. Like, it's not like I've all of a sudden in 2015 feel this way. I felt this way for a long time. The first time I got stopped, or not stopped, was approached by a police officer was when I was in 6th grade. And I was walking through the parking lot that we, at a community center we went to every day. And he said that there were car thefts and he searched our backpacks. But my whole life I've always felt that, and it's not just from police officers. I think it gets misconstrued that that's the only feeling of uncertainty that we have. Like, it's that front and from other black men, unfortunately, or other people in general, because it almost seems like nobody values our lives except for me personally or my family.
Right. Do you feel that society thinks Black lives matter? We're so used to, people dying, Do lives really matter from a society standpoint?
I believe that we've all become numb. It's been a lot to handle. I do want to say that I am an advocate for Black Lives Matter. I do believe all lives matter, but this is what we're talking about right now. We're talking about us, because we're the ones who are getting the media attention. Not to say that nobody else matters. Do I feel as though society values our lives? No, absolutely not. Not as a Black woman, no.
How you feel?
Well, as a black man, the only time I see us on the news is when we're playing sports, or when we're making some money for somebody else, or when somebody's on the news because they got shot or killed or they're doing something in jail. So from that standpoint, I don't really see that our lives is valuable as what they think it is. They don't see it as valuable as we are.
Right. And so what are some things that we can do differently? We talk about, something as big as black on black crime. We're not going to just sit here and act like it doesn't exist. One of the things that you were saying is not just police brutality, but black on black crime. So what are some things that you think that we can do differently?
Honestly, we have to get more involved with these politics. Honestly, I've never, well, in my past, I wasn't really involved with politics. I didn't care, to think my vote counted and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. But now I'm seeing that we have to have a say-so on things, because a lot of these policies and legislations that are being made, they affect us. And if we don't put our say-so in it, then how can we complain about it,
Yeah, I was speaking with one of my mentors, I guess, recently. We were speaking on a similar subject when we talk about popularity versus productivity. And there's like a gauge, like the more popular something is, the less productive the movement kind of becomes, because people are just talking about it instead of doing stuff. The more people doing stuff, the more work is required, so you don't really see the popularity with the masses. But there's a middle range that we need to get to where it's cool to do, but there's work to do as well.
Right. And so to wrap it up, I just kind of want you guys to just tell everybody how you feel about TSU, the campus here. There's a lot of negative stuff out there, and y'all know this. And that's the whole reason of this interview, so that you guys can just voice your opinion, to just tell your own story. We have outside people coming in and telling our story. So this platform is for you to just tell your story.
I love my HBCU. I wouldn't trade this experience for anything in the world.
I just love my HBCU as well. There's so many things that are positive about this university that just need to be brought to light.
Well, I know for myself, TSU has grown me into the man that I am today. It's helped me out when it comes to scholarships, when it has come to developing me in my major. I'm trying to become a doctor in it. So many programs are just out there for me. So I just love the whole environment, the family, everything. Humble.
Man, I could not imagine my college experience being anywhere else except for this university. As a college student, you're going to go through that space where you have to find yourself. You're going to be a little lost. But I couldn't imagine doing it anywhere else but here. I would not be the woman that I am today. I would not be exposed to the things that I've been exposed to. Tennessee State University is surrounded by young individuals who are active. We have entrepreneurs. We have people who are developing their own applications, engineers, everything. And to be in this environment is nothing but motivation and encouragement for me to be better and to exceed the potential that's in me.
Well, there you have it. The student leaders and the future leaders of our generation here at Tennessee State University have spoken. And I just want to give a special thanks to the students at University of Missouri. Just let you guys know that we are supporting you 100%, and just to continue with the courage and to continue with the fight, to keep on doing what you're doing. And a personal message to anyone that may be watching this, just want to let you know that your life really does matter. Carlos Mavins, TSU TV News 98.